together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we got some Monday Night Football. We get a double header in Monday Night Football. Jacksonville, Buffalo, Washington, Cincinnati. I've moved on to one of those games. Whether or not I move on the other one, I'm not sure yet. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Then a massive 4-game card in the MLB. I need to take a look, but I believe a couple of these are makeup games. Because I don't – does Philly play Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a 4-game set. All these are 4-game sets.
No. They can have off on Thursday.
Meaning, does Philly play Chicago this weekend?
No.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they play them today, tomorrow, and
they have an off day on Thursday.
Wednesday, and then they have off on Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these teams do not play on Thursday.
Yep.
Actually, all these teams don't play on Thursday. Well, Tampa Bay plays on Thursday against Detroit.
Well, Tampa Bay doesn't play today, so.
Oh, Toronto plays today, not Tampa. Never mind. I'm stupid. I read that quick.
Which it's amazing what happens when that Tampa Bay team is healthy, ish. They've won 7 of their last 10 games, but that's beyond the point. I mean, but we'll quickly go over yesterday. One went right, one went wrong. It was a strong day for me. Both baseball and NFL were profitable. Green Bay +3. They win 30-14 over Tennessee. They really made the Titans favorites in that game. I thought that was hilarious. And for me, with the Green Bay Packers, I've noticed this with 2 teams, and I'll go over to the second team in a second because that's the next game I'm going to recap. There are 2 teams that I am a whisperer for their games so far. The Green Bay Packers are the first one. I had the Eagles game 1 against them, but then I turned around and I bet them bet the Packers against the Colts, and I bet the Packers against the Titans. 3-0 on the Packers games. I'm also 3-0 in the Eagles games. I had the Eagles week 1. I had the Falcons week 2. I had the Eagles yesterday. Thank you to all the people who bet with recency bias and overreactions and things along those lines. Philly shouldn't have been a dog in that game.
Nope.
And my only regret was that when I went to go and double down on the Eagles yesterday, I never did because it was a 2.5, not a 3. And then I think the 3 was like -130. And I wasn't going to lay -130 on a -3 for that spot. And I mean, I don't understand how Philly became the dog in that game. I get it. The Saints had looked good. Let's remember, people, and we saw it yesterday. The Cowboys defense got torched again. They gave up 28 points. They played the Giants on Thursday Night Football. We'll get into that in a few days. That line's already dropping. It's down to a 4.5 in that game.
Overreaction?
I don't know. It opened up at a 5. So it's gone from a 5 down to a 4.5. I don't know yet. I have to take a deeper look into that game.
Cowboys by double digits.
I mean, probably. They never lose to the Giants ever. But we'll get into the Cowboys in a minute here because I did bet them yesterday, unfortunately. I split out on the Chargers game. One thing I noticed, Tim, is it feels like all the sides that I lost with yesterday were all contest picks. Chargers, contest pick, loser. Texans, contest pick, loser. Cowboys, contest pick, loser. But all my other ones were good. I split out with that Charger game, though. I had the under 34.5, which that game finished 20-10. Steeler game's under. Just keep betting them at this point until further notice because I think they're 3-0 the under this year. And I think that'll continue because that's an elite defense. And Justin Fields, I don't really trust that offense too much. Texans, ring, fraud alert. They get blown out. And I know some people want to twist it the other way on the Minnesota side. I'm going to stick to my preseason narrative. This is a regression year for C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Congratulations, you beat a Colts team week 1 that finally got their first win yesterday against the Bears, and you beat the Bears, who their only win is against the Titans. Like, they didn't play anybody decent, and Minnesota's not a good team. Still, I'm still hesitant on them. Their defense is good. Their offense is overachieving. I still think there will be a time to fade them. I don't know when that'll be, though, and I'm kind of giving up on it. But so we'll see. Broncos plus 6.5. I did not expect to bet that, and then I looked at the way the market was moving yesterday, and I grabbed a 6.5 with the Broncos. Turns out I didn't need a 6.5. I could have laid 18.5 with them. 26-7. Reminder that Baker Mayfield should not be laying a touchdown in the NFL, even against a rookie quarterback on the road. I was told not to bet the Broncos yesterday because of that. How about them Carolina Panthers? Team total over 17.5 plus 105 winner. What did I say going into the week? The offensive line for the Carolina Panthers is good. Bryce Young just sucks. You put a relatively competent quarterback in there, and Andy Dalton looks amazing. Like, I'm hoping this is what we see from the Panthers going forward, because I need 5 more wins from them. 5 more wins, Panthers, to cash my 3-unit over win total. I thought that was dead, but at a 5.5, 1 and 2 at this point is not a bad thing, especially when Andy Dalton looked as good as he did yesterday. Now, is that maybe an indictment to the Raiders? Maybe. But we'll see. Keep it going. The Detroit Lions, nice little bounce back game. They win 20-13 in that game against the Cardinals. Split out on the Rams game. I probably should have left the under off my card. Plus 6.5 for the Rams. Winner, non-contest play. So, of course, it won. And under 44.5 for that game was a loser. The Cowboys, contest play, loser. So all the sides that I bet that I didn't use in the contest yesterday won. That's kind of interesting. And then in baseball went, I think, 3-4-1, but up money. We'll get into it. Under 3.5 minus 115. First 5 with the Boston Minnesota game was stupid. It was kind of forced, I feel, and I didn't like that play as much as we got closer to game time. Detroit plus 101. Nice little winner there, as the Tigers are now firmly in a playoff spot, and the Minnesota Twins are a game behind them. Yeah. And if you're the Tigers now, the next team you're looking at is not the Minnesota Twins. It's the Kansas City Royals, who just got swept by the San Francisco Giants. The Braves run line loser. That was probably the worst result we could have had in that game. The Braves win and don't cover. Very annoying there. My minus 300 experiment went 1-2-1 yesterday, and I know a lot of people 1-2-1. That's terrible. That's probably losing. It finished up 0.65 units. First 5 for the White Sox pushed, full game lost. They were up 2-1 heading into the 8th. Frustrating loss there. There was a potential I could have had 2 big scores yesterday with that. I won the first 5 with the Rockies, plus 265. They were at 4-1 at the end of 5, 5-1 at the end of 6. But then 3 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th for the Dodgers helps them squeak out a win as a minus 400 favorite. So congrats to the people who laid minus 400 with the Dodgers. You guys are morons. And the final game of the night, how about them New York Mets? They take 3 out of 4 against the Philadelphia Phillies. That's a statement series right there if you're the New York Mets. And now you have it set up right in front of you. All right? You have a day off. Rest up, guys. Go into Atlanta, win 2, and you're playing in the postseason. That's all you need to do. Win the series in Atlanta, and you're playing postseason baseball. That's it. Their magic number's 5. They have the tiebreaker. So really it's 4. There you go.
I believe it's 4.
Yeah, I think technically it's 5, but like basically the tiebreaker would cancel out. So yeah. So profitable day in NFL yesterday. Profitable day in baseball yesterday. It was a little less than half a unit in base, or a little bit less than a unit in baseball. but it was 3 units in football, which was awesome. Back-to-back winning days. Let's keep it going.
Let's do it. Let's just quickly. I wanted to get the exact numbers through. They're going through. Yeah. It's not telling me what the. I think it is 4 for the Braves, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment. Yesterday was good for me. I will say, I bet one thing in the MLB. I bet 2 things in the MLB. The Marlin fade, which I think that's probably the most frustrating part, is the fact that they lost, that the Braves won and didn't even cover. So that's frustrating. And then the Orioles lose again. But the big day was over in the NFL. Very happy with how that all went. The Cleveland Browns have been eliminated from playoff contention. You lose to the Giants, you don't deserve to play in the postseason.
Or are the New York Giants back? And Malik Neighbors for Rookie of the Year, by the way. Malik Neighbors for Rookie of the Year.
Nick, stop. Packers money line.
He's been the best rookie so far.
Okay. Easy. It's week 3. Packers money line, winner. Under in the Bears game, winner. The Texans are frauds, 100%. Eagles are back, money line winner there. Raiders, what the hell was that? You lose at home to Carolina? Embarrassing.
They're coming off of a big win against the Ravens, though. Like that was not a situational spot for the Raiders.
Yeah. I split out on that Dolphins game. I took the under in the to start off with, and I was happy with that because I knew that one looked good, and then I took the Miami Dolphins with it. That was stupid. Rams plus, Rams plus 6.5 was never in doubt. Totally didn't take overtime, and they won outright. And I was on the right side of refs being refs, and I had the Chiefs -3.
That was pass interference, that was pass interference last night.
It was, but the Chiefs get bailed out again, and I was on the right side of it, so it worked out. Ended up being a good day in the NFL. Ready to keep on rolling today.
Let's get into it. Head over to the chat, and then we will get into some NFL.
Big day today. Congrats on the Mets. I won Eagles money line. Nice. Over in the Ravens game. Tigers money line and Mets money line. Nice. I thought I was going to cash with the Falcons money line, but somehow they couldn't get there with the zillion chances in the 4th. That's rough. Day 5 of a Diamondbacks player, home run prop, Marte and Suarez, a big deal.
There you go.
Not a big deal. There you go. Roberts, the home run whisperer. Rays are coming in. I'm looking at the MLB standings, and the Phillies have a letter next to their name, Z. Why don't the Mets have a letter next to their name yet? Because we're not quite there yet. But obviously winning the NL East has worked out for the last couple of champions. So you guys are in good shape. I hit Ohtani at plus 250. It just makes sense to keep betting that prop. Yeah. Ohtani 2 home runs. Ohtani 2 home runs in course.
You know, I'm so tired of hearing Ohtani every other baseball post, though. Like, I get it. He's good. I don't need to hear about it all the time, though.
Rams. Never in doubt yesterday. That was great.
Can we start talking about how the Niners might not be a good football team this year?
Or hear me out. Their entire offense is injured.
Yeah, but you're coming off of back-to-back losses against the Vikings and the Rams. Like,
I think Judge's home runs are also worth a look now. Seems like Ohtani has woken him up and he wants to win the race. Royals are the biggest storyline in baseball. Twins and Royals don't even deserve to make the wild card. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Royals still do. Tough losses, field goals on those -300 fades.
Full games, yeah.
Kansas City couldn't even win their final home game of the year. end. There's too many sports going on. I can't keep up with all of them. NFL preseason is the worst market to bet on. Teams lose on purpose as they're looking to test out power play and PK units and overtime units. It has
I don't
nothing to
mess
do with
with
the roster.
preseason hockey whatsoever.
I don't either. Leafs are minus 380 last night, and the Sens always play preseason like it's a Stanley Cup. Who do the Minnesota Twins play next?
They play. Give me 2 seconds. I can have that answer for you.
Miami.
Oh, they should sweep that series.
Good morning, fellas. Good day yesterday. The Raiders was a loss for me as well. Let's keep it rolling. All right, Nick, we can finally jump into the card about 16 minutes later.
Hey, it's okay. We have 6 games to talk about today, so I'm in no rush whatsoever. But not no rush, but you know what I mean. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. 5.5-point favorites are the Bills. Total 45.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this one, where we have Buffalo opening up on Monday morning at a 6. It went to a 5.5, down to a 5 for some points, back up to a 5.5. So we have a half-point line movement here towards these Jacksonville Jaguars. Line opened up 46.5, down to a 45.5 here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we do have 73% of the tickets and 60% of the cash on those Buffalo Bills, with the line moving against them there. We have 57% of the tickets, 73% of the cash is on the over in this one as well. The line moving towards the under, so kind of an interesting market there for that game. We have the Buffalo Bills coming in 2-0 on the year. A 20-17 win over Miami week 1. Or no, lost. No, wrong game. Wrong team. 34-28 win against Arizona in their first game. They end up beating Miami 31-10 last week. In the game, we saw Tua go out with an injury in that one. On the flip side, Jacksonville, back-to-back losses to start the year. 20-17 loss in Miami, where they, I believe, had a 17-7 lead at halftime. And then just got completely shut down in the second half by Miami. And then they followed that up with a loss at home, 18-13 against the Cleveland Browns, who just lost to the New York Giants. And I get it. A lot of people are going to be like, okay, just give me the Bills and let's move on. This is the exact market where it is dog central. This line going from a 6 down to a 5.5 tells you everything you need to know. 5.5 for me is the dog number in the NFL. And this is a game that I bet I got it at 5.5. I bet it earlier in the week. It's still 5.5. I'm on the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. This is one of my favorite spots of the week. And I wouldn't argue if you guys sprinkle in the money line in this game as well. I think Jacksonville can go into Buffalo and win this game outright. Buffalo coming in off of a feel-good win. With that blowout win, they play a lowly 0-2 Jacksonville team. And Tim, want to take a look who's next week on the Buffalo Bills schedule? You're muted, by the way. Yes, they head to Baltimore. And then they play Houston.
That's what I said, but I didn't realize I was muted.
Yeah. This is a Jacksonville Jaguars spot for me. This is going to be a desperate team looking to get a win. I don't know if they win or not, but they're going to cover 5.5 points. I'm on the plus 5.5 here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tim, where are you looking at this one?
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence for this one for a while, and I'm gonna pull the trigger with you. I'll jump on Jacksonville. I mean, you do get a extended week because they played on Thursday Night Football the week before, so Buffalo gets a little bit of extra rest. But they're coming off a big divisional win. And they go and they play the Baltimore Ravens next week, which I know the Ravens have not been as good this year. They finally got their first win yesterday, but it's still a big game. And didn't Buffalo play Baltimore in the playoffs last year?
Yeah. Buffalo lost to Kansas City. They both did. They both lost to Kansas City.
Yep. I think it was – I don't remember when it was, but no, I'll jump on Jackson with you. It's a dog number. But this one's a little bit more of my iffy play. I like my play on the next game a little bit more.
Okay.
Two goats right here. Y'all hit the like button and show some appreciation. Good luck today, my G's. Let's get it. Jacksonville money line, biggest play of the day.
Love it. Love it.
Jags plus 5.5. I'm trusting Nick's free pick. That's scary. I like Buffalo -5 and the under. Might do a teaser. I wouldn't hate a teaser because I could still see this game being like a field goal game. But be careful. Bills Mafia. Can the Jags stop the run? That's a good question. Any player props? No, I don't really do player props. Maybe in the next game. Trevor Lawrence will get sprayed with hot white cream.
Welcome back to the show, Dave.
Hey, Dave. How you doing? Travis Etienne over 49.5 rushing yards. Can't trust the Jags. That's fine. I'm a lot more confident with this play, Nick.
I don't want anything to do with this game, kind of. Let's get into it. This line opened up there we go. This line opened up on Sunday night at a 7.5. It got up to a 9 earlier in the week, and then it came back down to a 7.5 on the 18th, and it's kind of stayed there at the 7.5 number. This line opened up at a 40. This line reopened at a 47, got up to a 48.5, down to a 46.5. So as a half-point line movement towards the under here as well. 47% of the tickets, 61% of the cash is on the over. So more tickets are on the under in this game, which is interesting. 74% of tickets, 70% of the cash is on the Bengals. This lines have not really moved too much. We have the Cincinnati Bengals coming in 0-2. They're coming in that week 1. They lost outright as the biggest favorite in the card against New England. They follow that up with a nice cover against the Kansas City Chiefs in a game they probably should have won outright. As they lost that game 26-25 on a last-second field goal by Harrison Butker. The Washington Commanders come into this game 1-1. They get blown out week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 37-20. They get lucky last game with Graham Gano getting hurt, and the Giants basically not having a kicker the entire game. And it really screwed with the game plan because the Commanders did nothing impressive last week. They had, I believe, 7 possessions, and they ended in 7 field goals. This team wasn't able to move the ball that much, or they were able to move the ball, but they weren't able to convert in the red zone. And nothing that was done last week was very impressive by this Washington Commanders team. And I truly believe that if the Giants had their kicker in that game, they win that game by at least a field goal, if not a touchdown. So I'm not high on this Washington Commanders team. Now, is 7.5 points too many? Maybe. Because we have a team in the Bengals that is 0-2, and you're not only asking them to win the game, but you're asking them to win the game probably by double digits, which usually is a very appealing spot for me. They're also just coming in off that Chiefs game, which makes me have a little bit of pause as well. And you play a lowly Washington team, but your back's up against the wall, so you can't really look ahead. And if you're looking ahead, if you're the Bengals looking ahead to next week, something is really wrong because you head to Carolina next week. So you shouldn't be looking ahead to the Panthers. If anything, next week's a look-ahead spot for the Bengals against the Panthers because they play the Ravens the following week, a divisional game. So it's a no play for me whatsoever. I feel like I would only lay the points with the Bengals. But that being said, do you want to trust the Bengals laying this many points that haven't won a football game this year? And the last time we saw them lay this many points, they lost outright against the New England Patriots. Now, I think the Commanders and the Patriots are pretty similar. But do I expect the Commanders to be competitive in this game? Not really. I would only look to lay the points here because I think the dog is in the first game, not in this game. But that's the only spot I could look was the Bengals and maybe an under, but no play here.
I took the over. I think we finally got to see Cincinnati's offense come a little bit to life against a good Kansas City defense. 25 points after scoring 10 points in the first game. On the opposite side, I don't think Washington's offense could look much worse. 7 field goals. If they could turn a couple of those field goals into touchdowns, that game's a blowout and doesn't even matter about the Giants kicker. So I look at that one. I think that you could see the Commanders score a little bit. And I think the Bengals put up some points. I would probably lean towards the Bengals to cover the spread. I could see the Bengals putting up 30, 33 points by themselves, something in that range. This one's probably my more confident one. I like the over in this game. I just see points in this one, especially. And if you want to look towards player props, look towards anybody on the Bengals. I wouldn't hate it. Maybe even Jane, or if you're looking Commanders, Jaden Daniels to rush a touchdown in there. But
yeah,
I'm going to take the over here.
See, I think the better play, if you're looking at the over in this game, is not the full game total. Over. It's just the Bengals team total. It's 27.5. Ask them to give you 4 touchdowns and not have to rely on anything Daniels and that Washington Commander offense will do. So, because I do think this is a better defense they're playing in Cincinnati than they played last week with the Giants or the previous week with the Buccaneers.
For sure. But if you look at it, if like last week, if they turn 2 of those drives into touchdowns, that game's a blowout. And they are actually scoring points. So if they can figure out how to fix their offense in the red zone, they're good to go.
Yeah.
Laughing. Over. I'm trusting Tim's free pick video. Yikes. Jags are actually all about stopping the run. That's why I like this play.
Yeah, no, I love the Jags tonight.
Bengals minus 13.5. Bengals minus 7.5. Chase touchdown, sure. Now I could see Washington covering the 7.5. I agree with him. The over more. Brian Robinson rushing yards. Go for it. Bengals need a W so much that they won't take chances. I agree. Washington defense is really bad. It is. That's why I think the Bengals will score. All right, Nick, we're going to double the size of the NFL card for baseball.
Yeah, let's get into it. Go to the diamond. There we go. We have the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies minus 170 favorites in this game, total of 8 in the spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this game here, where I believe there was a decent move. No, there's none at all. Line opened up 170. It's still a 170. Line opened up in an 8 at minus 110. It's now an 8 at minus 115. We have Pearson and Nola. Your pitching matchup here, 88% of the tickets, 97% of the cash on the Phillies. The line's moving towards the Cubs. No line movement. It opened up 170, still 170. No movement towards the Cubs. 89% of the tickets, 93% of the cash is on the over in this one as well. Taking a look at these pitchers here, we have Nola, who the last 30 days, 4.03 ERA, 1.14 whip, 11.17 strikeouts per 9, which is 13% or 30%. We have 282 BABIP, a 4.10 FIP, and a 3.09 Sierra. I'm trying to see. Pearson has not started a game for the Cubs this year. I want to see what he has done. This looks like, I think it's a bullpen game for the Cubbies in this game. It is. Pearson's not going to go more than 2 innings in this game. Bullpen edge goes towards the Phillies, but the hitting edge goes towards the Cubbies. 138 WRC plus, which is number 1 in baseball, compared to 114, which is 9th. And when I looked at this game here, let me take a look at the bullpen usage. And I am interested in the dog in this game. I'm interested in the Cubbies in this spot. I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. The Cubbies didn't really use too many arms in the bullpen. Yes, they didn't actually. Ethan Roberts threw 22 pitches. Trey Wingenter has thrown 37 in the last 2 days. He threw 18 yesterday. He won't be available. Everyone else should be available. Pearson, Wisniewski, Miller, Thompson, Hodge, Smiley, Lopez. Everyone's available, basically, other than Wingenter. And then on the flip side, I want to take a look at what the Phillies bullpen had to endure facing the Mets. Now, granted, only Matt Strom threw yesterday because Zach Wheeler was Zach Wheeler was amazing yesterday. But there's just the one home run against Nimmo at the end there that really killed him there. The Phillies have a arrested bullpen as well. O'Kirkland threw on Friday and Saturday. He might not be available. But other than that, Strom should be available again. Ruiz, Banks, Gilbert, Hoffman, Alvarado, Estes, Allard. Everybody's available in this game here. So that ultimately brings up the question is the bullpen edge for the Phillies big enough to counter what the Cubs are doing offensively as of late? And I want to say the answer to that is no, it's not. And I'm interested in the Cubbies here, full game money line in this one. And I look for also, you got to keep in mind the Phillies coming off of a 4-game series against the New York Mets, playing Sunday Night Baseball in an electric atmosphere. And then you have to play the Cubs, who was just eliminated from the playoffs yesterday.
But it's in Philly, so there will be still an electric atmosphere.
It is in Philly, but I'll take my shot here. Cubs money line plus 153 for me.
I'm going to stay away from this game. I will say I have one play on today's baseball card, and it's in the third game we'll talk about. The only reason why I'm going to stay off is because it's a bullpen game for the Cubbies. That's it. I know the Phillies are coming off of Sunday Night Baseball. They're coming off of losing Sunday Night Baseball, having to travel. But at the same time, they're a win away or a Mets loss away from clinching the division. So they still have something to play for right now, and we'll see from there. But with it right now, I'm going to stay away from this game.
Fair. I'm taking a shot at the dog.
Philly run line. Should I parlay the Phillies, Astros, and D-backs? No. No, you should not. Aaron Nola is a home run third. 29 home runs this year. Yeah. Schwarber home run, maybe. This game is tough. Phillies coming home after clinching on the road. Primetime game. Maybe players get rested or limited. I still lean Philly, but don't love it. Philly's going to win the division. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Nick Castellanos home run. Why? What happened today? Okay. Robert, I really like Seattle tonight. My favorite MLB play. Bohm home run. It moved 29 cents towards Seattle. I like it.
We will look at that game. That's a big game too.
Did you guys see what Schwarber is doing during defense? He just works with a pitcher during batting practice. That kind of makes sense. He's the designated hitter.
Yeah.
Phillies 1-4 last 5. Keep in mind 4 of those against the Mets. Pass. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is probably the least appealing game on the card. We have the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. The line opened up minus 125 for the Blue Jays. Immediately went down to 115. It's now down to a 113. Line opened up 7.5 minus 110. Now an 8 minus 109. Move towards the over. A move towards these Red Sox. Expecting Bassett to get hit a little bit in this one here. Tanner Houck and Chris Bassett. The Red Sox, 67% of the tickets, 91% of the cash is on them, and the line's moving towards them. Makes them very appealing. 84% of the tickets, 82% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. Tanner Houck, though, I don't know how trustworthy. 4.71 ERA, 1.24 whip. 8.14 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%. 3 walks per nine, a 3.04 BABIP, a 4.17 FIP, and a 3.78 SIERA. On the flip side, Chris Bassett, 3.25 ERA, 1.41 whip, 10.41 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 2.93 walks per nine, a 354 BABIP, a 3.31 FIP, and a 3.65 SIERA. Bullpen edge actually goes to the Red Sox as of late, and the hitting edge goes towards the Blue Jays, 120 WRC plus, which is 6th, compared to 71, which is 29th. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. This is a pass for me. I want the Red Sox a little bit, but I don't trust Tanner Houck this late into the season, pitching above his career innings, not limit, but past. So no interest here.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna pass and move on. It's a Toronto game, and it's at the end of the year. Both teams, not the Boston Red Sox. Technically, I think have an elimination number of like 1 or 2, so they're pretty much done. I believe I was watching through. They have to like win out, and Detroit can only win like 1 game left or something like that. I believe Boston might be out altogether, but and Toronto's been out for a little bit, so this one's a complete stay away.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of like this is like a don't look now type of moment. The Rays have the exact same record as the Red Sox.
Yeah, I believe both of them are pretty much eliminated. So Red Sox back to back, not officially out, but they are out. My books had Jays -108 last night. Now the Jays are -118. I don't know where you see the line going toward the Red Sox. Sign me up for the Jays.
Bet online.
There you go. This is the one game I actually have a play in.
This is a huge series. We have 6 games remaining, right?
Yes,
6 games remaining for these two teams. And I think though the Astros still need to win this series in order. I think they need to win. Let's see. They won 2 out of 3 in July against Seattle. But they lost 3 out of 4 in May against Seattle. And they lost 2 out of 3 in early May against Seattle. So Seattle leads this season series. What would it be? 6-4. So the Astros would need to sweep this series to have the tiebreaker over the Mariners. But if they sweep the series against the Mariners, the division's over anyway. But a win tonight does not clinch the division for the Houston Astros. If they would have beat the Angels last night and completed the sweep against the Angels, we'd be talking about a clinching situation tonight if the Astros can beat the Mariners. If the Astros beat the Mariners, they will have – wait, did I do math wrong? There's 6 games left. And after tonight, it would be 5. I'm wrong. My bad. Astros win this game, they win the division.
I was about to say, there are 5 games up.
Yep. Nope. I can't do math.
Seattle's fighting for the wild card. They're not even looking at the division anymore.
Yes. Because there's 6 games left. They're 5 games out. If the Astros win, they'll be up 6 with 5 to go. If the Astros win this game, the division is theirs again, and plus 350 can come home for me tonight. That's the only thing I'll be paying attention to in this game, though, because this game, though, when I look at it, if I'm betting the side in this one, it's Mariners or nothing. This line opened up at a 143. It's down to a 129. Line opened up at a 7.5 -120. Got up to an 8. Back down to a 7.5. We've had no line movement on the total. We have 95% of tickets, 80% of cash on the Astros. Line moving towards the Mariners. 85% of tickets, 79% of cash on the over. Line's not moving. Bryce Miller and Hunter Brown. Miller a 1.82 ERA, 0.88 WHIP, 10.01 strikeouts per 9, which is 29%. 3.03 walks per 9, a 200 BABIP, a 3.37 FIP, and a 3.49 Sierra. On the flip side, Hunter Brown, 2.43 ERA, 1.01 WHIP, 7.89 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%, 2.12 walks per 9, a 235 BABIP, a 3.44 FIP, and a 3.80 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards the Mariners as of late. And the hitting edge, don't look now. The Mariners have been one of the best hitting teams in baseball over the last 30 days, especially against righties. 128 WRC plus, which is second in baseball. I can only look towards the Mariners in this game. However, one thing I want to look at is never mind. It was this morning. It was -150 for the Astros. I wonder if the line moving against them is maybe the books thinking that Jordan, who left the game yesterday, is out of this one. But is Jordan worth? Huh?
One player's going to change the line that much?
Someone like Jordan, who is an MVP candidate type of player, yeah. Okay. I can definitely see that. I'm gonna not bet this game. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna hold my plus 350 ticket and hope I can go to the window tonight with the Astros to win the division. That's the only thing I'm gonna do.
I'm taking Seattle. I think that Houston needs to put the champagne on ice for tonight. And maybe they get it tomorrow. But I just like the spot. The line movement's kind of telling me this. And I think Seattle still has a shot of making the wild card.
Yes,
I know it's a
they
little,
absolutely do.
yeah. I mean, they're a game behind Minnesota, and they're 2 games behind Texas, the Tigers, and the Royals. So it's still very, very close there. I personally like the spot here where Seattle can definitely still approach this wild card. I think Seattle takes 2 out of 3 from Houston. So Houston will clinch in the series, just not tonight. Give me the Mariners. That's my only MLB play of the day.
Yeah, I mean the Mariners currently in the wild card because this is what we're looking at really for them. They're a game behind the Twins. The Twins get 3 against the Marlins at home, and then they get 3 against the Orioles at home to end the year. And they're 2 games behind the Tigers, who get the Rays at home for 3 starting tomorrow, and the White Sox at home for 3 starting tomorrow. And then they are also 2 games behind the Royals, who have lost 7 games in a row. They just got swept at home against the Tigers and the Giants. They go on the road for 6 more games. Now the Royals. They're in Washington, and then they're in Atlanta. There's a very real possibility that the Royals play themselves out of a wild card.
That sucks.
And that the Mariners can steal that wild card spot from the Royals. Not the Twins, not the Tigers, the Royals.
That's rough. Vladdy homer? Astros, nope. Seattle destroying righties.
Yes,
what up, bros? What up, Birdie? Let's head to the final game, Nick.
Yeah, we finally made it through this really big slate. Line opened up at a 160. It's up to a 173 now for these Arizona Diamondbacks. So we have a 13-cent line movement towards Arizona. Line opened up at a 9 at even money. It's now a 9 at minus 101. A 1-cent line movement towards the over and a decent-sized movement towards the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks obviously have something to play for, and the Giants have been eliminated. But the Giants are coming off of a sweep against the Kansas City Royals in their last series. Now they head to Arizona. 90% of tickets, 91% of cash on the Diamondbacks. Line's not moving. And then 81% of tickets and 86% of the cash is on the over. And the lines move slightly towards the over. My bad. The line was moving towards the Diamondbacks. We have Eduardo Rodriguez and Hayden Birdsong. Birdsong, a 4.22 ERA, 1.41 whip, 9.28 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 6.75 walks per nine, a 2.22 BABIP, a 4.72 FIP, and a 5.33 SIERA. On the flip side, Rodriguez, 5.84 ERA, 1.58 whip, 9.12 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 3.65 walks per nine, a 3.56 BABIP, a 4.06 FIP, and a 4.33 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards the Giants in this one as of late. The hitting edge is a massive one, though, towards the Diamondbacks. 125 WRC plus, which is 5th against righties. The Giants, granted, I don't think this is a huge sample size, but they're against lefties. This number was lower than what I typed up for the White Sox a couple weeks ago. 23 WRC plus for the Giants against lefties. Granted, let me take a look real quick. That is in 126 plate appearances, but still, that is awful. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. We have Rodriguez fighting for a spot on the playoff roster. Because right now, if you're the Diamondbacks, I don't need Eduardo Rodriguez on pitching in a playoff game. I don't. And do you even want him in the bullpen? You got Montgomery in the bullpen. You don't need another useless lefty. So for me, I have no interest in this game either. My only play will be the Cubs today on the diamond. And it's another game. I would only look Diamondbacks. Be the only spot I do, because this Diamondbacks team, when we look at standings here, they've got a lot to play for. Now, they're 3 games behind the Padres for the top wild card spot, which the Diamondbacks have a decent chance to take back that number 1 wild card spot. It's very simple how they can do that.
Sweep the Dodgers.
Take care of business against the Giants and sweep the Padres. Because you know who the Padres get this upcoming week?
Dodgers, right?
Dodgers. Here's the thing, though. Could we potentially see Diamondbacks, Dodgers wild card series? Because hear me out, Tim. Ready?
I'm going to go mathematically. Hold on, mathematically? No, I don't think so.
Yes. But let's throw a hypothetical out there. This is not going to happen. Padres sweep the Dodgers.
Uh-huh.
They're tied.
Mm-hmm.
And the Padres would be 10-3 against the Dodgers this year. So they would have the tiebreaker. They sweep the Dodgers and don't lose any ground against the Diamondbacks when the Dodgers unfortunately have to go to Coors Field and play a very bad Rockies team where they'll probably get the division then.
For a Dodgers Diamondbacks wild card series, I think it's going to be it would be, even if the Dodgers get swept by the Padres, I think it's almost mathematically impossible. Because then the Diamondbacks still have a series against the Padres, and the Mets have a series against the Braves. So unless, I guess that would require the Braves to sweep the Mets.
Yeah.
In order for that to happen, I don't see that. That's just mathematically, I don't see that happening. But keep in mind, the Diamondbacks, instead of that, I think the Diamondbacks have a better shot at missing the playoffs altogether. Because you could look at it, if the Padres win the series against the Dodgers, the Padres will have something to play for the final weekend of the year going for the division. Arizona, if you got the Giants coming into this off of a sweep, they're playing a little bit better. If Arizona loses the series to the Giants, they get the Padres up next, they can miss the playoffs altogether.
Yep.
And by the way, the Diamondbacks would have to outdo the Mets because the Mets have the tiebreaker over the Diamondbacks.
That is true as well.
So right now, if the playoffs were to start, although the standings don't say it, the Mets would be heading to San Diego.
I hate that. I
don't like this year's. But
Padres win this series.
I'm passing on this game. It might be a lean towards the over, but I want nothing to do with it. I think I'm just going to stick with the Seattle Mariners today. And I don't think we're going to have anything up on the site for baseball. I think we're just going to have the Jaguars on the site. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seattle 9-15 to make playoffs. Just bet it.
Huh.
I mean, it's not dead.
It's definitely not dead.
I don't hate it. D-backs money line.
Taking shots with different things. So yeah.
D-backs team total over. D-backs parlay piece. Seattle to win the World Series at 10-1.
Okay, now pump the brakes on that one.
I think you're just getting a little bit crazy.
If the Mariners get into the playoffs, they will be a 6th seed, and they would get bounced by the Astros.
Moneymakers today is Arizona ruling Mets money line, Phillies money line, Detroit money line. See you at the bank. I was almost English. Pablo Smith, Eddie Suarez, and Marte. You're fading of the Dodgers is getting comedic. I'm not saying that the Dodgers are getting swept.
It was a hypothetical.
That was just a hypothetical to try to figure out mathematically if it's possible.
Mathematically to see if that was possible, which isn't the most far-fetched thing that the Padres can go into LA and win 2 out of 3 at the very least. Now, I'm not saying the Padres win the division, but I mean, the Padres, one thing that they have proved to me over the last few years is they're not scared of them Dodgers. No. They embrace playing the Dodgers. They love playing the Dodgers.
Mets Braves tomorrow is the series of the year. It's going to be one of the biggest series of the years in terms of playoff implications, yes. I do like the over as well. I would lean that way. Not really much of a recap today. I'm on the Jags and the over in the Bengals game, and I'm on the Mariners. So there you go. You can still check out the CapperTek, which I'm slowly starting to dig myself out of that ugly hole that I was in. I'm up like 17 or so units since I hit that absolute bottom that I was on there. So doing a little bit better as of late. There's the CapperTek. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back again. Oh, one more comment. Thanks, guys. Let's do it. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one and finding the outro. Peace out, guys.